Welcome everybody to this PnP Weekly episode 255, and we have an interesting title for this episode. What does this mean, Waldek? The final episode. What does
We
that
ran
mean?
out of bites.
Yes, we only have one bite left. 256. Now, we've been on a summer break. I think from a mid-June or something like that. And within the summer break, we've been evaluating different options. How do we continue doing things? And to be able to free up some of our time to do new things, we need to clean up some of the old things. Is that the right way of saying that, Waldek?
The only concept is change, right? So
Yes. But now we've been so basically, just to be super clear on this one, this will be the last episode on the PnP Weekly podcast. It does not mean that either one of us are going to go away. We'll be back. We'll be introducing new stuff, new content, new podcasts. Maybe with an S and maybe they plural. But the key difference will be that it's not necessarily within every single week, because and that means also that we need to change the podcast title, and therefore it is the final episode of the PnP Weekly, which, by the way, hasn't happened every single week through the summer either. So we've been slacking, Waldek.
no, we've been on a break. Like everybody, at some point you need a break.
True.
We are indifferent in that sense.
That is true. And again, just to be super clear, Waldek still works for Microsoft Cloud Advocate. I still work for Microsoft 365 developer platform areas and on SharePoint platform. No changes there. We're looking into introducing a new show. We have a lot of ideas on doing things, but as there is only 24 hours in a day, 5 days or 7 days in a week when we're doing this work, we need to always evaluate what are the things we potentially need to clean or stop doing so we're able to introduce new cool stuff. So rather than piling in to the to-do list every now and then, it's smart to reevaluate all of the things what we're doing. And let's face it, I think considering the past and especially spring was a super busy for both of us, doing weekly show actually requires surprisingly a lot of work, coordination, time. And more importantly, it takes a slice from the brain capacity because you basically need to have that one slot recording, setting all of that stuff, and publishing within your mind every single week. And clearing that away will help on doing other stuff, doing more stuff. Well, is it more if we? I don't know. So terminology. Sorry.
Maybe to shift gears a bit, putting you thoroughly on the spot. We've been doing that for a bit over 6 years. That's a lot of time. And like you said, 255 episodes.
Yes.
Anything that stuck with you?
So for me, we were just having a chat when it got started. So we started with no plan, and we never had a plan, and we just kept on executing. For me, the key point is consistency and getting stuff out, which we now kind of break as we make this incredibly hard decision not to continue the PnP Weekly, which will actually feel bad. But it's the fact that we consistently have visitors and also going through the news, and every single week from a time after time we do this thing. I think that's proven to be successful, and it's proven to be also actually quite time consuming. The big thing for me within this episode, within the whole show, has always been meeting people and having a discussion on the people level about their careers and what they're doing, and more about not even the technology, because technology evolves, but it moves in cycles. So we always reinvent ourselves with a different perspective. But now it's this thing. And it's like, yeah, I heard about that one 10 years ago already. But it's now renamed to something else. So technology kind of moves in cycles, but the people are really I would say the who bring the energy within the room as well. And meeting new people and get to know their background stories and everything else is definitely nice. What about you? What's stuck with you within the show?
I think that the two things you mentioned already, right? So one is, I don't recall when we decided to record the first episode. The one thing that I recall is that we haven't had a plan like we're going to do that many episodes. Like, no, we thought like, hey, there's this gap that we want to fill, we had an idea for a show, and we went and did that for 6 years. So that's really cool. And another thing I think you mentioned too is the fact that the only thing that changes if you zoom out enough, it's really the how we do things, but the kind of the needs that we've got, like the what and the why, stays the same. And once you've been around for a while, you kind of see exactly that. Like you see the patterns. Oh yeah, it's yet another wave of, you know, empowering dev to do more complex things or build better apps that scale, or empower non-developer or non-pro devs to build business apps. Like that's been on for ages, right? So in that sense, it's nothing new, but it is still new because there are new and exciting ways to do it. So it's really interesting, like how to see how that evolves over time, and to learn more about people who, like explore the edges and try to find new and exciting ways to do things. So it's great to learn about folks, learn about the careers, learn about their opinions on things, the way they look and engage things. So it's been a great journey.
Yep, definitely. And now I start feeling bad about actually making this
Well,
decision.
no. So you mentioned thing. I was like, let me rephrase. So you mentioned something that the important thing for you is consistency, and we're kind of breaking. Like, well, let's say we're going to be consistently inconsistent.
One way of approaching that. No. I would say and of course the consistency of promoting what people are doing and going through the blog posts and everything else, and we really want to keep on promoting people because again, the people are the engine and the fuel of this community. So the stuff that people are sharing and in a YouTube format or a video format or in a blog format is really the way how other people learn. So the sharing is caring is incredibly important. And like we talked about, there was a gap, which was basically there was no summarized channel when we started. There was no, the Power Platform Weekly didn't exist. There other channels or similar summaries didn't exist, and we started doing that, and we did it for quite a long time. But there is a tax on doing that. So there is a tax on actually repeating tax. Not
it's test. A task to do it, and there's a tax on the task.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, true. But again, not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. No changes. We're going to keep on promoting the awesome content, what everybody's doing, but not within this weekly summary format. So more as an ad hoc thing within the internet and across the different channels. Now, something what I wanted to actually show here. This is from the first episode, 17th of August, 2018. See, 2020 something. No, 2018.
Yes, 6 years.
Yes, it is 6 years, but there has been some changes. You clearly have grown up. You look older.
I've got the same Lego behind me, so with that, I need to change things. I changed the plant behind me. Way more gray glasses.
True.
No.
True. I actually flipped the room upside down, so I'm actually watching the wall where that TV is, and that TV is now in my kids' room. So that's a new TV, which we haven't actually used in the show that much anymore. At some point, we were using Irvin's face, I think, was in the show for the first episode or so. As a special guest who we couldn't actually get. That was some sort of a running joke when I started the episode. So
until we got it, I think it was fun.
Yes. And I think the idea was to have a short videos. This one was 23 minutes. Apparently, the original idea was to have 5 to 10 minutes summaries. The first episode was 23. And then it grew to be a 1 hour long with the visitors and everything else. So it kind of evolved throughout the time as well. We didn't have visitors when we started, actually, but then pretty fast we started having visitors on the show.
Yeah, we realized that people had enough of hearing two of us. So
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
But I mean, so that's interesting, right? So that's kind of what's been, and I mean, the videos that we put out there are still there. You can still catch up with all of them. Like there is news that aren't really as news because it's from 6 years back. On the other hand, maybe it's nice, once in a while to see what was new back then, where are we now, where we came from. But also great to hear, stories of the folks with whom we talked. And where they are now. So if anything else, that makes for a great archive. But thinking forward, would you be willing to reveal, open up the kimono a little bit, so to speak?
That's a
Give a little
horrible saying. Wow.
give a sneak peek into some ideas that we've got.
Well, first of all, we've been speculating this ending with few people. I know that there's other people who are looking into doing community spotlights and introducing community discussions and all of that back end. So the MVP to MVP and community presentations, that will keep on going one way or another in a format. And maybe it's good that we are freeing up the opportunity for others to take that as a lead. For us, what's happening in the future from a work or content creation time, I think we've been speculating on a few different options on a podcast format with Waldek. You might know him. And we would be changing the dynamics a bit, but not as a weekly show. So we're looking into doing more on a point and then multiple episodes focused on a specific area, and then changing that again, the area. So rather than having this weekly show running in the latest news, we'll focus on a theme or an area, and then having multiple shows on that. So we'll probably have then multiple
Episodes,
seasons with multiple episodes in them, and that's kind of the conceptual idea what we've been looking. Let's see what we will call that show, or what else we'll come up with. Am I missing something, Walter?
No, I think you covered pretty well. Yeah, so we want to explore. Want us to explore the different angles, different topics. Repeat less in a sense of the content that we cover, but kind of have a format that we can reuse, that we can still stick to. So yeah, if anything else, stay tuned for more updates from our end if you're interested.
Definitely. And follow us on Twitter or LinkedIn. You will follow up on or see whenever the new content and new material is coming out. And again, community calls, all of that stuff continues. We are recording this on 2nd of September. Yes, our Tuesday call gets back on 3rd of December 2024. We have minimum 2 community calls every single week, which, by the way, if you're a community person or MVP, we do welcome you to present there. You might actually have a session which you prepared for a conference. You can do a 15-minute intro or a squeezed session within the community calls, and those are great opportunities to also expose you for the other people in the community, because those calls have on average more than 300 live attendees, and I think we have more than 32,000 attendees in community calls last fiscal, so June to June 23 to 2024, which is mind-boggling number. So including millions of views in YouTube as well, so which is really cool. But I guess that's it. Let's, without the further ado, I guess that's what we've been saying in the show as well quite a few times.
Yes, on that bombshell.
On that bombshell. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for all of the subscribers, all of the watchers, all of the visitors and the interviewers. What are those? Guests within the show. Thank you. English is so hard. Thank you for all of the guests within the show, and thank you for all of the support, all of the things what we got throughout the years. And again, we're not going to go anywhere. We'll be back, but in a different format, and we'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Thank you, Waldek, also for the great co-hosting.
Thank you. I mean, this is in the end. Like, we will be back. So
absolutely, 100%. It sounds much more dramatical than it is. It's just a change of format. But thanks everybody for watching, listening, subscribing. All of the guests. We'll be back, and let's stay in touch. Cheers. Everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.